Hey everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. Today's video is on Juvia's Place. I have recently purchased this palette from Juvia's Place. This is called the Coffee Shop palette and it's a beautiful brown toned palette and it works great on tan skin, brown skin, deeper skin tones. It has such rich colors. So I thought let me review this palette for you. We'll talk about the shades in this palette. And I have also got 3 lipsticks from their range. This is the Nubian Earth range and these are the velvety matte lipsticks. I have purchased Juvia's Place lipsticks from earlier, their nude range, and I really liked the formula, so I'm hoping these colors are going to be really good. I have 3 shades, so we are going to swatch these lipsticks as well. So without much further ado, let's quickly get started with today's video. I'm so excited for today's video. I have been eyeing this palette for some time now and finally I got it, and it is such a steal at the drugstore. This palette retails for $25, but currently I think it is for $15, and for that price, this quality, it's amazing. Today's eye look is also created using this palette. I will show you a snippet of how I have created that look, and we'll see the shades and everything of the palette towards the later part of the video. First, let's talk about the lipsticks. I think that's what you are also most excited about. I have actually not opened these lipsticks yet, so this is going to be my first impression on the shades. I think I have already reviewed the lipstick formula. These are really good matte lipsticks, so I don't have anything new to say on the formula. I just want to show you the shades. So let's get started. Let's start off with the packaging on these lipsticks, because if it's Juvia's Place, you start with the packaging because they have always beautiful artwork, and I have always admired the packaging of Juvia's Place palettes. I have done so many videos on Juvia's Place when I was starting this channel. I used to love their eyeshadows, and I think I had almost every single one of them at one point of time. So anyways, these are the lipstick. These are called the velvety matte lipsticks, and these are their regular like creamy matte lipsticks. The ones which I have from earlier, they are quite nice. They are very nicely richly pigmented, very smooth, matte looking. They are not like very long wearing, I would say, but they are easy to touch up, very comfortable to wear, not really transfer proof, but they are nice nude lipsticks which I have from the previous range. So I have 3 shades right here. I have the shades Clay, Morocco and Soil. Okay, and I will show you the bullet packaging, as in the lipstick bullet as well. It is stunning. This is how the lipstick packaging looks like from inside. It's in the earthy tones, and look at the lipstick bullet. This was not done earlier with the other lipsticks which I have. It has engraving all around. It is just so beautiful, such intricate, delicate work and delicate engraving on the lipstick. I almost don't feel like wearing this one, and the lipstick packaging is so beautiful. That's one of the reasons I have not really swatched it yet. I thought let's swatch it on camera. Let's start off with this shade. This is the shade Clay. This is more like a terracotta brown shade, and this is how the packaging or the lipstick bullet looks like. It's beautiful engraving. I will swatch it first at the back of my hand, and it's so creamy, buttery, very nicely pigmented, and this is how it looks like. So this seems like a nice fall color to wear. Glides so nicely. Oh my god, it's such a beautiful shade. Stunning. It's a terracotta nude or a terracotta brown shade, and it's perfect for the fall season. Recently I have done a video on fall lipsticks, and that time also I had this lipstick, but I did not really try it back then. This is definitely a beautiful fall color. This is the first shade, Sand. So that's the first shade. I am in love with this shade. The formula feels the same. The velvety matte formula, creamy, matte looking, comfortable, not really transfer proof, like a nice, comfortable, everyday wear kind of a lipstick. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Next, we'll do Soil. This is described on their website as a rustic and a warm orange. Soil. Wow, this is like a true orange lipstick. This is also like a fall lipstick, and I don't really have a lot of orange lipsticks, and I do get comments saying to show orange lipsticks. So here you go. This is one orange lipstick. Let us swatch it first. Wow, it's quite orange. I don't wear lipsticks like this, so let's see how this one will look like. The pigmentation is so good. I think just 2 layers and you are good to go. Wow. Usually I don't wear orange lipsticks because I feel like they look too bright, but this has a nice slight hint of that peachiness to it, so maybe it's not looking that bright, not too out there, and it has a subtlety to it. I quite like it actually. Do let me know what you guys think. Will you wear an orange lipstick like this? So that's the orange lipstick. Soil doesn't go with the eye look which I have on right now, so I will be changing it. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the last shade which I have. This is the shade Morocco, which is described as a warm apricot. It looks like more of a red, so I'm not sure how it is going to be. Warm apricot. By apricot, I understand more like a peachy red kind of a tone, but this is more like a peachy brown maybe. Let's try it. It doesn't look very light. I was thinking maybe it's too light for my skin tone. We'll try it. Yeah, there is definitely a peachiness to it. Definitely a peachy vibe, a peachy brownness to it. I am very excited to try this one on the lips. Oh, finally something which I can keep on for the eye look. Okay, so this is Morocco. I can definitely see why it's described as a warm apricot. There is a lot of peachiness in it, a peachy brown lipstick. I have seen a lot of beautiful peachy lipsticks which are perfect for lighter skin tones, but I have never found something which is nice for my kind of skin tone. Those lipsticks will always wash me out, so this is a good option if you like a warm brown, a brown with a hint of peach in it. I think this is a really nice option. Wow, it looks so good. It's very wearable for everyday as well. I may not wear the other 2 shades very often, but this is something which I can wear on a regular day out basis. It is perfect. I love this one. Morocco, I think I saved the best for the last, and these are the 3 shades which I have purchased. So those are the 3 lipsticks which I have purchased from Juvia's Place from their Nubian Earth collection. This is the swatch one more time. I think I love all the 3 shades. There is no 2 ways about it. I think all the shades work out for me, and they are very different as well. So you have like a reddish orange, a true orange, a peachy brown, and I think I will take a look at all the other shades which are available in this range too, because I really liked the tone of these very unique sort of lipsticks which I don't have too many in my collection. So I'm pretty happy with what I've got. Now I think let's move on to the eyeshadow palette. So here is the packaging for the eyeshadow palette. Beautiful artwork on the front, and I've always loved Juvia's Place palettes. They have always worked out for me. They work really well for deeper skin tones, and that's why I had so many of their palettes. I still do actually. So this palette, I had seen it I think last year, and I wanted to get it, and I had made a mental note about this palette and I somehow forgot about it. And recently I was looking for a new neutral or brown toned palette when I thought of this one, and I decided to get it. So this is how the palette looks like. This is an extension of their chocolate palette, which also I have. This is the chocolate by Juvia's Place. So they had launched these mini palettes which were 6-pan palettes, and there was a point of time in my life where I used to love mini palettes. I had a ton of them, and I have all of the 6 which have been launched together with this one. I think 6 or 8. I'm forgetting, but I have all of them. Okay, so this is the chocolate one, which I think is a beautiful mini deep chocolatey brown sort of a palette if you're looking for that. It has warm tones, cool tones, taupes, chocolate browns, everything in one compact palette. So it's a very nice to go palette, and I have loved the quality of this one, the chocolate palette. I actually wanted to do a video on this, the entire range of this mini palettes. I never got around to doing it, but this palette is an extension of the chocolate palette, and I really love the chocolate palette. I was wondering how different are the shadows going to be, so I ordered this. And if I have to compare, which I'm not doing in this video, probably if you want I can do a separate video comparing this one and this one, but the shadows are different enough. The tones may be slightly bit of similar, but they are not like exactly the same shadows which you have in here. There's a slight bit of difference, so that's good. This is like an extension palette. If you have liked this palette, you can get this one. If you have liked this palette and you want something more in terms of tones, then you can also get this one. The tones are similar but something different, so it's not necessary to have both the palettes, but if you want, you can get both of them. They're not super expensive also, so that's amazing. So in this palette there are 16 shades, as you can see, and I just love all the shades. Let me just put it out there. All the shades are amazing. There are some different textures also in the palette, which I have noticed. Juvia's Place usually used to have like mattes and metallics, intense metallics and intense mattes. The mattes in this palette are super intense, nicely pigmented, they blend well, everything good. I don't see a lot of fallout as well, so that has been great. And the metallics are also nice and intense, like I remember Juvia's Place palettes, but there are a few metallics which are something different, like this one, which has a slight bit of that duochromatic nature to it. It has, you can see it as a taupe, but it also has a little bit of a champagne gold flip, so that is very interesting. And same I think is this one, which has kind of a shift. I don't know if it is intentional or it is supposed to be a duochromatic shade, because nothing is mentioned on the website, but whatever I can see through my naked eye, I can see that there is a subtle kind of a shift in those shades. So I am really enjoying this palette. There are different tones of brown. You will get a lot of warms, a lot of cools, and you will get different tones. You will get very deep tones as well, so it's going to work out great for deeper skin tone, tan skin. You are going to have so much fun with this palette, because the brown tones, I would say these are different shades of coffee beans. That's a perfect name for this palette, the coffee shop palette. If you have seen whole coffee beans, these are just different tones of that, and they are just beautiful. So I think let me show you the swatches of all the shades, and then we'll just come back and probably I will tell you which are my favorite shades. And I totally recommend this palette. There's nothing more to review about this palette because it's so good. Let's start off with the first two rows of the palette. So here I'm swatching the first 8 shadows in the palette. You will get to see some warmish browns in here, some earthy tones, brown which has a ochre tint to it. There's a nice matte cream shade as well, and there are 2 taupey shades, one deep, one light. Moving on to the next 8 shadows in the palette. Beautiful taupes here as well. 2 of them almost have a duochromatic flip. Nice deep chocolatey brown tones, cool toned brown shades, and a very pretty coppery tone. Isn't it exciting to see a palette which can have such a variety of brown tones? They are all browns, but they have different tones, and that is like so amazing. And they have another smaller palette which has a different tone of brown. So I think this is an excellent palette. Today's look is created using this palette. Let me quickly show you how I have created this look. So for the first transition shade which I have right here, I have used this shade. This one I will say is like a chocolate brown shade, more on the deeper tone. I could have used something lighter as well, like this one, but I wanted to keep it a very brown in the crease, so I have used this one in the crease. This is again a very simple look, so I have just deepened up the outer V with the brown which is right over it, and this is a more cooler gray toned brown, and this just blends so nicely and it's a perfect outer V shade. And next I wanted to use this taupe, which is so beautiful. I just love taupe shades. I have done a video on neutral eyeshadows where I have mentioned how much I love taupes. So this is a palette where you'll get different kind of taupes. So if you love taupes, definitely consider this one. This taupey shade goes so well with all the rest of the colors. So this is what I have on my eyes. It's beautiful taupe shade, and I have just blended my crease color a little bit with this shade also. I don't know if I have the footage for it, but I have used this one a little bit in the like just to blend out the crease color. And I've used this one, this matte cream shade, super handy to just highlight your brow bone. It's such a beautiful highlighting color for the brow bone. So that's my finished look, and let me know what you guys think about it. So there are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 matte shades in here, different tones of matte shades, and I think they all work beautifully. You will I don't think you will have too many issues with any of the matte shades. Very nicely pigmented, and they just blend well. I don't have any complaints. And there are a few metallics. There are 3 taupey metallics. Let me show you them first. So 1, 2, and the third. Okay, and the third one has slight bit of that flip here, which has that champagne-y kind of a flip. It's really pretty. So I have 3 beautiful taupey shades, taupey brown shades, whatever you want to call them. These are the kind of shades I just look for in a palette. Okay, so that's there. These are my favorite neutral shades. That's what I'm trying to say. Then we have like a very simple, like a white silvery, like a muted silver kind of a shade, which I have used in the inner corners. By the way, I have totally forgot to mention that. So I have used this in the inner corners. So this taupe is just over here, and this one is in the inner corner, so that the inner corners are still light. It's not too deep with this taupe. And then for metallics, we have 2 more shades, a bronze and a copper. So if you like bronze and copper tones, both are beautiful, very smooth, intense metallic. So you have that also in the palette. They have tried to include every kind of neutral in this palette, which is good. And then there is this last shade right here, which is a kind of a satin kind of a shade, which has little sparkles in it. It's not like a true metallic shade, little sparkles, which I have not really used so far. Probably I'll use it as a liner or something, because any shade which has sparkles, I prefer using them as liner. I'm always afraid that there is going to be fallout. So that's that. And I think those are all the shades in this palette. So I am totally enjoying this palette. If you have been eyeing this palette, I will say go for it. Totally recommend, especially at the price at which it is right now. It's amazing. It's for $15 currently, and I think for any kind of sale, this is totally worth it buy. And if you want me to compare this one with this one, then just do let me know in the comment section. Probably I will do another video. I don't want this video to be too long. So I hope you liked this video and you found it helpful. If you liked it, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're watching me for the first time, I really hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again really soon in my next video. Bye.